Welcome back everybody to Little Pig Barbecue. Today I've got a slab of St. Louis style ribs and we're going to do these out on my ugly drum smoker today. I'm firing up my Big Poppa kit that I put together. It's an awesome drum. This is going to be a fun cook. So what we're going to do today is I've already got the ribs trimmed up, and all I did to do that pretty much was just open them up, dry them off really good, and pull the membrane off the back. I personally pull the membrane off the back. I think it is chewy and tough whenever it cooks, so that's not something I really want on my ribs. But today we're going to use some Killer Hogs seasoning to get these things seasoned up with. Going on with a good dose of the AP rub. I'm not using a binder today. I'm trying something different. Normally I use some mustard or some oil of some kind, but today I'm just going with the seasoning. And my thought is the salt and the seasoning is going to draw out a lot of the moisture, so we shouldn't need a binder on these. But like I said, I got these trimmed up already and got them cut to the length. One tip that I like to do with ribs is on the very end, sometimes there's like bones that are like broken or chipped off, if you want to call it that, but I like to take those off because I don't want to risk biting into that. You know, it's might choke on it or something like that. So we're gonna get these seasoned up. Again, I'm going on with the Killer Hogs AP seasoning first, and we're gonna do a good dose of that, light to a medium coat. Now this is a really salty rub, so you don't want to apply it really heavy. So we're not going to rub it in, we're going to pat it in just to get it to stick. And the other thing about the binder, these ribs have plenty of moisture on them, so there's really not a huge need to add any kind of binder. So get them patted in really good. I'm going to flip them over and get the other side. Now these ribs came from Walmart, and they're nothing special, not super expensive, just a regular cut of St. Louis ribs. And if you notice, the marbling on them is actually pretty good, so I'm thinking these are going to turn out okay. So we got the AP rub on, so I'm going after a sweet profile today on these. So I'm going to hit them with some Killer Hogs the barbecue rub. This stuff is really good. I've used the hot barbecue rub on ribs. I've used both at the same time. Sometimes I use the sweet the barbecue rub and then I hit it with some of the hot barbecue rub afterwards, and it goes really well with these. So one thing I like about this rub is it really gives a lot of color to the ribs, and you'll see that. Got a lot of paprika. I mean, it gives it a really pretty color, so one of my favorite rubs to use on ribs. I've used it on everything. It's good on chicken, really good on any pork chops. So I'll get the sides really good. And you want to put this on as even as you can, and pat it in just like we did the AP rub. Get the sides here. Side. There we go. Now we got all the sides, and we got the back really good. It's all patted in, so we're going to flip these over. We're going to hit the front side with medium to heavy coat. And it's amazing to see the color change on these with this paprika. I mean, this is what's going to give you that awesome colored bark. Really just make it look good. It's going to make it look like it tastes good. Alright. So, the next thing I'm going to do is just kind of let this hang out on the counter for 20 to 30 minutes. I'm gonna go outside and finish getting the cooker ready. Again, I'm cooking on my ugly drum smoker. This is the Big Poppa kit. Really awesome cooker. Holds temperature really well, really fuel efficient, and puts on some of the best flavored barbecue that I've ever had. So I'm gonna go out there and get that thing finished getting it ready. Probably gonna throw on some cherry chunks today, maybe a chunk of hickory for some good smoke flavor. And we'll get you out there as soon as the cooker's ready. We'll get you out there and check everything out. Stick around. All right, we're out here at the Big Poppa Drum. As you can see, I got a really cool looking blue color paint job. So we're gonna get these bad boys on. I've got it running about 275 right now. I'm gonna throw on just a couple small chunks of cherry. It's gonna give it some good smoke flavor and really good color. Get you a quick look at the ribs before I put them on. As you can see, it gave it a really nice color. That rub did a really good job. So we're gonna get these on, get the lid closed. All right, before we get the lid closed, I just wanted to give you all a look at how I have the ribs laying. You want to straighten them up as much as you can, because however you put them on the grate is how they're going to cook. So I just like to straighten them up really good, and you want to try to get the lid closed as quick as possible. And that should be it for a little bit. We're going to come back out here probably in about an hour to check on them. Give them a good spritz with some apple juice or something, whatever I can find. So we'll check back in a little while. Stick around. Alright, it's been about an hour, so we're going to open this up and see what they look like. Alright, we're starting to get a little bit of pullback on these. So we're going to spritz it with some apple cherry juice, just to add a little bit of moisture. And again, this should help with the color a little bit. Just get you in there, check that out. Man, that color looks so good. So we're gonna get this closed back up and let it come back up to temp, check on it in about another, I would say 30 to 45 minutes, and then we'll take them in the house and put them in a wrap. All right, it's been another 30 minutes, so we're gonna check on it, see what they look like. Again, the color is still looking really good, but the bark is not quite where I want it to be, so I'm gonna give it another spritz with the cherry apple juice. Get them nice and moist. And the bones are starting to pull back a little more. A little fogged up there. The bones are starting to pull back a little more, so I'd like to see a little bit more than that. I'm going to let them go just a little longer, maybe about 30 more minutes, and we'll come back out here and check on them again. Alright, this should be it. Check it out one more time. Alright, so we got some really good pullback. The color looks good, the bark is good, nice and formed. So I'm going to get these taken in the house, and we're going to put them in a really good wrap and throw them back out here to get them good and tender. Alright, so got the ribs in the house. Got a double layer of foil. So the first thing I'm going to do is put down a layer of Parquet butter. This is going to add the richness of the ribs. And then I'm going to follow up with some honey. This is gonna give them a nice sweet flavor. So that should be good on the honey. And then finally, we're gonna follow it up with just some plain brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar if you like. I just have some light brown, so you're gonna put on a good bed of sugar. Again, this is gonna add to the sweetness and give it a little bit of caramelization in the foil. So once you got that on there, we're gonna take the ribs, and I like to pick off any of the little burnt pieces, if there are any, and just kind of get rid of that. So that looks pretty good, and we're gonna put these meat side down on the sugar and the butter and the honey. And again, I'm gonna pick off any of the burnt pieces on the back side. Okay, so again, nothing special on the back. We're gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm just gonna put one single line of butter. I'm gonna put a little bit of honey on the back. Just a little bit. And I'm gonna follow it up with some of the brown sugar again. There we go, that should do it. So now the next step is we're gonna get these wrapped up really tight. You wanna keep in all the moisture and all of these juices that form. So what I like to do is grab the foil like this and make a pouch. Fold it over just like that. Careful not to pop the foil, because again, you don't want any of the moisture to escape. You want it to all be trapped in the foil. And that's what's really going to get them tender. I'm going to fold the edges over and very carefully close it up. So you got a nice foil wrap with Parquet butter, honey, and brown sugar. And you can put anything else you want in it. These are just the flavors that I like. You can put some of the apple juice or some of the spritz. You can hit it again with some of the dry rub. It's whatever you like. So we're gonna get these back out on the pit, and should be another hour. It shouldn't be too much longer after that. So we'll get out there and throw these on and check back on them in about an hour. All right, let's check on them and see how tender they are. All right. So with ribs, I'm not looking for temperature, I'm looking for tenderness. So what I'm really looking for is just to make sure the probe goes through the meat, almost like you're sticking the probe in some room temperature butter. So they look really good, they feel good. Just to give you an idea, the probe's reading around 205, 210. So I think I'm gonna get these in the house, and we'll put a glaze on them in the house and see what they look like after that. So hang tight. All right, after about 3.5, 4 hours, this is what she should look like. You've got really good bark, nice mahogany color. The mahogany color is 100% from the rub, the barbecue rub, and also the cherry wood that I used. Those two paired together is going to give you a good color, good bark every single time. So you can see it's got plenty of moisture, nice glaze finish to it. That's from the brown sugar, the butter, and the honey mixture that was in the wrap. So one of the things that I'm going to do to finish this off, and you can do this on the pit and let it caramelize, but I like to do this at the very end in the house. I'm going to add some Cosmo's apple habanero rib glaze. So this stuff is really good, really sweet, and got a nice kick to it, and pairs really well with the rub. So what I'm going to do is just drizzle a little bit on the top, just to give it a good shine. Alright, and then just take a nice brush and kind of brush it in a little bit. This is going to create a really nice shine to it, awesome flavor, make them super sticky. Everybody likes eating sticky ribs. And that is all you do. That should finish it up. So once you got that done, let it rest up for a little bit. I usually will let them rest for around 15-20 minutes at least, but I like to go 30 minutes most of the time. But to be honest with you today, I don't think I'm going to be able to wait 30 minutes. I might cut into them and see what they look like. So let's get a good knife here, and we're going to flip it over so we can see the bones, and we're just going to cut right down the middle of one. Oh, these are really tender. I just want to check out, see if we got any kind of smoke ring. I don't know if you can see that or not. Nice smoke ring, plenty of moisture, super tender, but they're not falling off the bone. They're gonna have a little bite to them. You don't want to pick the rib up and it fall off the bone immediately. So we'll get you back up here and we'll recap on what we did, and that should finish this one up. All right, let's look at these one more time. Check out the shine on those. They look awesome. Can't wait to tear into them, but these are actually for tomorrow. So recap on what we did. We got a good slab of St. Louis cut spare ribs, and we took the membrane off the back. I seasoned it with some Killer Hogs AP rub and Killer Hogs the barbecue rub. The barbecue rub I put on pretty heavy. That gave us the nice bark that we were after and the good sweet profile. They went on the drum, on the Big Poppa drum, for about 2 hours just to get the smoke flavor. We took them out of the smoke and got them in a wrap with some butter, brown sugar, and some honey. Put them back on the pit for another 45 minutes to an hour and took them off, and this is the final product. We finished it off with some rib glaze by Cosmo's, the cherry apple habanero. This is a really good glaze, highly recommend. So you can do this one of two ways. You can put this on and finish it up on the pit, or you can just bring it in the house and drizzle some over the ribs and let them get tacky that way. So this is what I'm working with. So if you like the video, subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and I will answer any questions that you might have. And I really appreciate you watching and sticking around. See you next time.